Alright, pardon me. Wanted to make another video on this Steinite 261 I've been working on. I haven't worked on it for quite a while, and then I started in on it again. I worked on the power supply, and I got it all put back together now, but I had it tore apart. And I guess I should have took a video of that, but I didn't. But I replaced all these old resistors. So these are the ones that were up under the plates here on this, up underneath there, mounted up underneath there. And this one's kind of cool. It's I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a Durham. And then on the little label here, it's got 1100 written on it. And it measures almost 1100 ohms. It's over, but it's like 1300 ohms. This one on the schematic, where is the schematic? This is the schematic I've been using. And right there, it shows it at 50K. And measuring it, it's almost 100K. These are supposed to be 10K. These green ones. And one is about 11K. And then another one is about 30K. And I don't remember which is which here. Then I got this yellow one, and it came out of the radio over on this side, not the power supply, but the radio itself. And it's off the grid of this 227 tube. And they've got it in parallel with this capacitor here, and this is the resistor, right? I don't know if you can see that, but that's the resistor. Right there, they show it in the schematic, but they don't give a value for it. And then it measures at about 6.5 meg, 6.7 meg, something like that. And I started looking at other schematics online for other Steinite radios, and nearest I could come up with other radios that they had built was they had used a 3 meg resistor in that position. So I tried that, and it seemed to work just fine. So I put a 3 meg resistor in there. And I replaced all the caps that were in that box there. There was 5 caps in there, and this is what it looked like. It's got the tar on it, and it sat in the box like that, and you know, like that. And the wires went off wherever, you know. But it's kind of a neat little package there, and cardboard box, and we got it in there, and we heated it up just a little bit on the back side, and this just slid right out. Came out nice and pretty, clean. That was pretty cool. But anyway, I took a couple pieces of foam. How I rebuilt it is I took a couple pieces of foam and some axial capacitors, and poked the leads up through the foam, and then set them down in there, and then put another piece of foam on top of that, the leads poked through, and that you know, so it kind of sandwiched the capacitors in between the foam. And then I cut a little piece out of this old press blanket and sat that on the very top. Just punched holes with leather punch through the blanket. Got the leads through there, and that's at the very surface on the back side here. On the back side of the radio here. Guess I ought to film this decent. And so that gave it, you know, some extra protection. And then I just heat shrunk the leads, you know, make sure they didn't touch any metal or anywhere they weren't supposed to go, and J-hooked a wire to it and ran it off to where it was supposed to go. And the radio's been working great. I've been working on the box a little bit, and I thought that Durham resistor is kind of cool. But I replaced everything with 1 watt resistors in here, and also 2 watts, some metal oxide, and a couple carbon compositions, Bradleys. And then the 3 meg I got under here is a 1 watt Bradley. And it's been working pretty good. I put some new tips on the speaker wire here. So we've figured out that this switch is kind of like a fine tuner. You know, you tune in on the station, and then you can move this around, and it kind of takes out some of the static. It kind of fine tunes it, takes out some of the static, you know, and that's kind of cool. It's nifty. Kind of fine tunes the station that you're tuned into so it comes in more clear. So I think I'm going to put it back in the box and call it good. I did dig out a bunch of this tar that was, you know, the pitch or whatever it is that they poured in the top of this to seal it up. Because I had to repair some of these wires, you know, they're just so corroded. So I tore it all apart and put shrink tube on these wires the best I could, and some of them I had to dig down into the pitch to get to a good part of the wire and put shrink tubing on there. And a couple of them I just replaced the wire. Pardon me. And it's working, so pardon me. All right, well, I'm going to sign off and get it back in the box and all that stuff. And thanks for watching if you watched. Bye.